Do the colors in the Super Bowl logo actually foreshadow the participants? Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and if you're like me, you've seen this conspiracy floating around the internet as of late as we get closer to the Super Bowl, and it's that the Super Bowl logo colors actually predict or tell the script that the NFL has in place of which two teams are going to play in the Super Bowl. Now, if you're like me, you think this is absolutely ridiculous. In fact, I went a step further and said there's probably so many combinations of teams that it's actually not that impressive when the two colors actually correspond to the participants, and although we don't have this year's participants yet, it is purple and red, which lead us to believe that it will be the Ravens and the 49ers. And since this could be the third year in a row that the logo actually predicts the correct participants, I thought let's go back and actually do the math and figure out the probability that this logo would be correct. So that's what I did. This theory dates back to Super Bowl 56. As you can see, the logo here is orange and yellow. So what I did is I listed every NFC team that has the color orange. It's actually only one. The Bears are the only team in the NFC with color orange in their logo. As for the AFC, there's a few more: the Bengals, Browns, the Broncos, and the Dolphins. So then I did the same thing for the secondary color, which was yellow in the logo. And as you can see, there's quite a few more NFC teams and only 3 AFC teams. Now, if you know how the Super Bowl works, one team from each conference gets in. So in order to do the math for this, what you need to do is first start over here. You need to take the Bears and you need to multiply the Bears times the 3 possibilities for the AFC. That's where you get the 1 times 3 here. And you divide that by the 16 possibilities for the NFC and the 16 possibilities for the AFC. So you're left with the fraction 3 over 256, which actually equates to 1.1%. So there was a 1.1% basically that the Bears would play an AFC team in the Super Bowl that had yellow in their logo. And look, guys, I get it. Not all 32 teams are created equal. Some have a better probability of making it to the Super Bowl based on their talent, their roster, their depth, their coaching. Yeah, we're just pretending in this that all 16 teams in each conference are the same. So the other possibility in Super Bowl 56 was that the yellow team was from the NFC, and we get a lot more options here. We actually have 5 options and 4 options. So same math, 4 times 5 divided by the number of teams in each conference, and we get a fraction of 20 over 256. A little bit more likely that it would be yellow NFC, orange AFC, for a total probability of 7.8% chance of that happening. If you combine the two probabilities, so the total likelihood that we could have seen a yellow versus orange Super Bowl, you get just under 9%, and it happened. So that's pretty impressive, and it's actually more impressive than I thought. I thought just brainstorming these teams in my mind that we would get anywhere from a 20 to 25% chance, and it really wouldn't be that big of a deal, but under 9% is pretty big. Let's look at the following year, Super Bowl 57. Now, Super Bowl 57 did have red in the logo, and actually, if you look really closely, you could make the argument that there is some purple in here. Now, there's only 2 purple teams in the NFL anyway, so the odds wouldn't go up that much, but as you can see, a lot of red teams in the NFL and quite a few green teams. So doing the same math, 3 over here for the NFC combined with 6 over here for the AFC gives us 18 out of 256, which tells us there's about a 7% chance of a green NFC and a red AFC. And vice versa, if you look at a red NFC versus a green AFC, you have 3 chances versus 5 chances, 15 divided by 256, or just under 6% probability of this occurring. So the total probability of a green team playing a red team in the Super Bowl would have been just under 13%. And guess what? That happened as well when we saw the Eagles play the Chiefs last year. So now what does that mean for this year? And yes, I'm making this video early. I don't know if the Ravens and 49ers are going to win this weekend. We've seen the Chiefs do remarkable things in the last half decade, so you can't ever rule Patrick Mahomes out in the playoffs. And the Lions, do I think they're actually going to go into Santa Clara and win? Absolutely not, but it's always a possibility. So if we look at this year, it's actually very interesting because you have a ton of red teams. Red and blue are probably the most popular colors in the NFL, but only 2 purple teams, one in the NFC and one in the AFC, Vikings and the Ravens. So very simple math, 5 times 1 and 6 times 1 for a probability of 1.95% or 2.34% for a total likelihood of 4%. Now, again, if the Ravens win and the 49ers win, we will have seen this for 3 years in a row. And what's the probability of that, you ask? All you need to do to find the total probability of it happening for 3 years in a row is to take the probabilities of each of the years and multiply them together. So in the first year, we said it was just under 9%. And then the next year, we said it was just under 13%. And then this year, it is just under 5% or 4.3%. So if you multiply all those together, the chances that the Super Bowl script, the colors in the logo, would actually come to be true, the chances of that happening um, are less than not only a percent, they're less than a half a percent, they're less than 0.2%. 0.126%. Okay, I tried to find something comparable to this, like struck by lightning or bit by a shark or win the lottery. I couldn't find anything that quite matched up, but I think it's safe to say that that is absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely wild. And again, I'm not saying that the Ravens and the 49ers are going to win this weekend, but if you want to talk math, they have the best mathematical shot to win this weekend. So it could very well happen. Next year's logo, I'll go ahead and throw it on the screen. It's not looking good. It looks like the Ravens are going to have to repeat again, assuming they do win this year, or the Vikings are going to have to pull some major strings and Kirk Cousins is going to have to come back like Superman and lead that team. So purple is a rough color to have a high percentage. So we'll see what happens next year, but first we got to get through this year. As always, guys, I just wanted to bring you a fun little video, kind of walk you through some math. I know people are talking about this, so I wanted to show you how unlikely it actually is, because I was a hater at first. I thought it would be a pretty reasonable expectation since there's a lot of red teams in the league. I'm an idiot. Thank you guys for coming by. If you like the sports content, boy oh boy, hit subscribe for me, baby. We'll see you next time.